Hi there, LaFera Rue here. Today I'm going to show you how you can set up your own seed starting area indoors with minimal work, 4 items, and a small space. Before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified in the future of more plant guides to come. So I'll be walking you through the steps I took to make a seed starting spot in my office. It took about 20 minutes from start to finish and uses very little space on my desk. As I mentioned, you only need 4 things to complete this. You'll need a grow light. I have one here made by Ferry Morris that I purchased at Lowe's, which I talked about in my lighting guide for indoor houseplants. It comes with several pieces that make a stand, but I needed to be able to adjust the height. The holes on either side of the plug are where the stand fits into the light and will help us with another piece of the project that requires a small length of steel wire. These holes will determine the gauge size. Next, you'll need a length of aluminum chain, which you can find anywhere that sells jewelry crafting supplies, as well as cup hooks such as these. If you are in a situation that you can't use screws or you don't want to damage your desk, check out stick-on command hooks. Just make sure that they have a good hook to hold the chain, so not these ones. Lastly, you may need a drill with a bit just smaller than your screws to make pilot holes depending on your physical strength. I started out by drilling pilot holes because I'm going to be replacing the command hooks you see there with the cup hooks that I showed earlier. If you also decide to do pilot holes, make sure to only drill in about half the length of the screw that you're using, otherwise you could risk going all the way through your desk. Don't worry too much about your holes being exactly aligned with each other. As the light hangs, it will even out as long as they're close enough. The only issue you might run into is if your cord is pulling the light as it hangs over the side of your desk. Once you have your screws set in, you'll want to attach your length of chain. The reason that I recommended aluminum is because you can just open one of the links on the chain to get it to the size that you need to fit your desk. This is where the piece of steel will come into play. As you can see, I've taken a piece and bent it into a similar shape as the parts that come with the light. The gauge of steel that I have is just a little smaller than the holes on the light, so you can see it just slots in real easy. Because the gauge is a little smaller though, this particular piece wiggles quite a bit and won't stay without the other half already being slotted into place. The other side here is where the plug-in is, and that's actually what is holding the steel wire in place here. So now that I have this part in, I can attach the other side and it will hang quite well. Once everything is in place, it should look a little something like this. I hope this helped a bunch of you guys out there with spring fever. Remember to stay cool and wet your plants.